Today I want to show you how to make potato wedges. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. So to make the potato wedges, and we're going to fry these, okay guys? We're not going to bake them. I had Jada boil a bunch of potatoes. I'm only going to show you two right here. And when you're doing potato wedges and you're cooking for a family, you kind of want to add them like that, 2 per customer. 2 for each person in the house, especially if the potato is small. And these are smaller potatoes. If it's a large potato, then you would do 1 per person. So these have been in the fridge, and they do cut better after they've been on the fridge. And all you want to do is cut them like that. If they're hot when you're cutting them, because you only boil the potatoes for 30 minutes, all right? You might not be able to cut this one thinner. You might have to leave it as thick as this. So here I'm just going to cut that. See how our wedges are forming right here? And meanwhile, I'm going to get my oil heated up on the stove, and you could use any oil for this: olive oil, canola oil, corn oil, shortening, whatever you prefer to use. And we're going to have, the oil is going to be a little bit deep, so we're not going to be using anything like Pam. And if you notice, I don't use anything like Pam because I don't want anything that's sprayed out of a can for me to have to eat. I don't want cheese out of a can. I don't want, the only thing out of a can sometimes is whipped cream, and I don't even like that. I like the one in the tub better. So this, see how much wedges we got right there? That's quite a bit from 2 potatoes, right? So that's more than enough for 1 person to eat. So let's move over to the stove and I'll show you how to make these potato wedges. So I have my pot right here on the stove. I didn't light it yet. I'm going to put some canola oil to the pot. And I'm using this deep pot because I want the oil. I don't want to have to use too much oil. I think that's a little bit more than a cup. And we're just going to put it there. And I'm going to turn my stove on. I'm going to turn it on high at first until the oil gets hot. And when it's time to put the wedges in, I might end up turning it down to medium. So let's wait a few minutes for this to get hot. So I popped one little fry in there to see if it's hot enough. It's been about 3 minutes. And to me it seems like it's hot enough, so you kind of just want to put them in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take them off of the cutting board and just put them in there. And try not to make it have any kind of splatter, because I don't want to have to clean the stove. That's the one thing that I don't like about my new stove, you guys. I really love it for everything, but the cleaning aspect of it, oh yeah. Nobody ever wants to clean it. They love to cook on it, but they run away. So I'm just doing that because I'm only doing this little bit right here, just to show you how to make the wedges. Of course, these can be baked. I don't really like them baked, but they can be baked. And we're just gonna let them cook like that. We don't really have to mess with it because they're not like sticking to each other and stuff. We're just gonna allow this to cook for a few minutes until they get crispy. And this is the best way I know how to make the potato and the fries crispy. I boil the potato first for 30 minutes, and then here we are, letting it cook. It's been about 7 minutes, and the wedges are done. We don't want them to cook too much longer because they're gonna burn. And I'm gonna use this skimmer right here to just skim it out of the oil. And I'm going to put it in a plate and show you our finished product. Here's our finished product, potato wedges. I don't have any salt on them, but you can definitely add salt to this at this point while they're still hot, okay? And we didn't overcook them, because if you overcook them, they get really hard and you can't even chew them. The next time we try this again in the future, we're going to bake them. So I wanted you guys to see how the cookbooks start from scratch. I put them in my program that I use to write the recipes in, and I just put them in this folder, the 3-ring binder, and put it out like that until I get through proofreading everything, and then I send it to publication. So today's Creole phrase is "Where pa you going?" That means, where are you going? See how simple that recipe was? You boil the potato for 30 minutes and you allow it to cool down. If you can allow it to cool down in the refrigerator for a while, it'll cut easier. And you cut them into wedges and you fry them in a little bit of oil, and you can sprinkle salt if you want. As you all know, that I tend to eat on the lower end of the salt spectrum, so I don't add salt to anything, because if I eat that with ketchup, that already has salt, right? Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for picking up the book, for sharing the show with your friends and family, and for the one lady that contacted me through YouTube and said her cousin put it all over her Facebook about everybody looking at my show. I thank you guys so much for that, because that really, really helps the show to grow. Until I see you again, take care.